I don't think you know what brutalist designs actually are. Have you ever seen designs like this and you wondered how to properly create them yourself? Shock horror, what you're looking at right now is not in fact brutalist graphic design. And neither is this right here. These designs do use certain elements from the philosophy of brutalism, but these are actually anti-design. So, did you fall for the misconception? You see, many designers do get this wrong, me included at some point as well. This on screen is an example of brutalism, and then this on the right is anti-design. People often confuse what is anti-design to be brutalism. While they do share some similarities, they actually are pretty different. Anti-design makes use of ugly user interfaces with overlapping design elements, colors that really shouldn't be used together, distracting animations, and complexity. Anti-design is often accompanied by a sense of humor and irony. Brutalism, on the other hand, when implemented along with the right principles of design, can help attain a unique visual identity that also does sit well with the user experience without, in fact, overwhelming the user. It's kind of like brutalism is the more grown-up, more mature version of anti-design, and anti-design is that kind of teenager who's just sat in their bedroom, moody all day and all night. But what exactly makes a design brutalist? Let's take a quick look at some key features right now. The word brutalism comes from the French word brut, which translates to raw, and that originates from the architecture where the term raw concrete was actually used in the 1950s style of building. And just like in brutalist architecture, brutalist graphic design removes decoration and it goes with the raw materials that make a website, a poster, or whatever it is that you're designing. So the first key hallmark of brutalism on graphic design is being minimal. However, be careful not to confuse this with typical minimal graphic design. For example, a minimalist website will still pay attention to things like a good color scheme, a well thought out typography choice, but a brutalist website might not give much importance to these considerations and just use a plain white background matched with a default font such as Times New Roman. Minimalism is refined and almost intentionally pretty, but brutalism is minimal with a raw, somewhat inconsiderate kind of way. Yes, brutalism is about raw materials, but that doesn't mean you cannot add decoration to your brutalist designs. Quite the contrary. Modern brutalist graphic design will often use icons such as stars, circles, or other kind of motifs. These are usually used sparingly, and often they are used as a function and have a purpose on the design itself. Brutalist designs will also make use of these design elements in a way that just kind of looks a bit jarring to the eye, often by disrespecting alignment and composition. Another key aspect of brutalist graphic design is that the imagery is often placed very starkly. Again, this just refers back to that kind of raw nature that this philosophy of design has. Images often won't have borders, drop shadows, or just anything else for that matter. Of course, there are always exceptions to every single rule. But also the imagery used is quite stark itself, it's quite contrasting and has a raw emotional feeling attached to it. But hey, what about colour on brutalist graphic designs? How do we use colour, or is it even used? A large majority of brutalist designs have a main colour palette of just black and white. This is sometimes accompanied with a single bold and bright colour, although actual use of colour aside from grayscale is not necessary in a lot of cases. Now, typography is often used in uppercase lettering, and these days in modern brutalism, we see outline lettering in sans serif fonts. This is something to keep in mind. Modernist brutalism is heading towards more decorative elements, and it's often a mix of anti-design, brutalism, and conventional graphic design. But I bet you're asking yourself, when do we use brutalism on our graphic design, or do we even need to consider it at all? As I often say, the most important thing is to keep in mind your target audience and also the design brief. A lot of the time, brutalism just won't fit the situation and it's not going to be a tool to make use of. However, you can always take ideas and elements from brutalism, or any kind of philosophy for that matter, and not fully adopt the entire thing in your project. In my opinion, graphic design styles and movements are kind of like tools. They have a specific time and a place, and the key thing is to actually realize when a specific tool needs to be used or not. And here are some designs that I really do like the look of from an aesthetic point of view, but which actually just take some elements from brutalism, anti-design, and conventional design. Remember, anti-design is more of a punk mindset, whereas brutalism tends to have its roots in efficiency and functionality. And you might be like me, you might actually prefer the previous designs we just looked at, the ones that are kind of a mishmash of anti-design, brutalism, and conventional design, or maybe not. But go ahead and leave a comment which kind of movement or which design you prefer yourself. And if you want to pick up thousands of free fonts to use on your designs, potentially brutalist designs, just click the playlist on screen. And until next time guys, design your future today. Peace.